You must all have been hearing about the war prevailing between Russia and Ukraine, right? Now, into the third month of the war, Sweden, one of Russia's neighboring country in the west, has made NATO bid official and has said that it is entering a new era. And this is the story of the day. Hello and welcome to Eduaura's Insights. I am Prateek Akkanawru, bringing you the recent news about Sweden's bid for NATO. Now, Sweden and Finland have both expressed a desire for NATO membership. Since Russia declared a war on Ukraine in February, NATO and its membership has been at the center stage in world politics, right? But let's try to understand what is this NATO and why its membership has irked the Russian President Vladimir Putin before we get into the insights. Now, with the end of the World War II, the world was divided into two ideological blocs, that is the capitalist bloc led by the United States and the communist bloc led by the USSR. Now this division ushered in the era of the Cold War, that is period between 1945 to 1991. Now the victorious nations of World War II, the US and the USSR, were trying to extend their influence over various countries of the world. The Soviet Union, leader of the communist bloc, was aggressively trying to install the friendly communist regimes in the Central and Eastern Europe, where it had defeated the Nazi forces in the World War II. So, the NATO or North Atlantic Treaty Organization was formed as a military and political alliance in 1949 directed against the designs of the Soviet Union. With its headquarters in Brussels, Belgium, NATO consisted of 12 founding members including the US, Canada, Germany and France. As a response to NATO, the Warsaw Pact was formed in the year 1955, led by the Soviet Union and some East European countries. Now with time, the membership of NATO has increased to 30 countries, with the latest being North Macedonia in the year 2020. Now it is clear that from its genesis, the NATO has been an adversary of the Soviet Union. After the disintegration of the USSR in 1991, Russia emerged as the successor of the Soviet Union in the international relations. Now, due to the changing geopolitical equations in the New World Order, that is the unipolar world dominated by the US, NATO tried to extend its influence in the Eastern Europe. Various countries of Eastern Europe and erstwhile Soviet states formed as part of the USSR or were under the communist regimes in the Cold War phase have been included as NATO member countries. Example, Hungary, Czech Republic and Poland joined in the year 1999. Then Latvia, Slovakia, Lithuania, Slovenia and Romania joined in the year 2004. So in a way, NATO, through its political and military alliance, is trying to isolate Russia in Europe. And this is the main reason which is a bone of contention for the Russian premier. So on the one hand, Russia has grown apprehensive about the Western powers through NATO, and on the other hand, various countries of Europe are increasingly tilted towards NATO membership as they are fearful of the Russia's aggressive stances, particularly in the Eastern Europe. For instance, Russia's annexation of the Crimean Peninsula, which belonged to Ukraine in the year 2014. Now in September 2020, Ukraine's president approved new national security strategy which aimed at membership in NATO. Since then, the tensions between the Russia and Ukraine have elevated, culminating in the Russia declaring war on Ukraine in February this year. So this is a simple story of complicated military alliances which not only have caused wars but also devastation throughout the human history. Now such military alliances have been a major cause of the outbreak of the First World War. They intend to maintain collective security but give way to wars and aggression. So the question arises, are they successful in maintaining peace and security? It's time to introspect. But always remember, wars may be won by nations, but humanity always loses.